quiet because it is 5:50 in the morning and everyone in my family is sleeping. So we have Terry's kids this weekend, which you would have seen from the birthday dinner last night. I'm off to a gym to take a boot camp this morning at 8 o'clock, but at 6 o'clock because I get so excited for these things. I'm just up and about. Like, I know guys, crazy, but I feel like I'm born to motivate others. I'm born to lift people up from the inside out. Training for me or training people is not just about, it's not even about the physical appearance. It's about what's going on mentally for them when they're training. What's going on in here? What do they need to believe in themselves to get through what they're doing? Because if they can get through all the hard stuff that they're doing with me, then they can apply those skills, those strategies, those habits for life outside of the gym. I do have a business called Move for Wellness. It is only brand new. I haven't done a lot with it yet, but I'm wanting to branch out and do some boot camp sort of work. But I want to bring a lot of mind work, inner self-critic. I'm making no sense. I know the word I'm looking for. My business is called Move for Wellness, so I literally want to work on the wellness side of people. Look at my lighting. How good is this lighting? Not. Anyway, so let's go back to my aim. My aim is to actually create a space for people to come where they can move their bodies to feel well, not to punish themselves. And I want them through my classes and through like my teachings, and I want to educate them on how to train our brain to do differently, to think differently, but to have a positive impact on their lives. So many times we say so many awful things to ourselves that we start to believe it. I did. That's literally what led me to my eating disorder. Well, ballet and a few other things, but it's what fed my eating disorder so quickly that I began to think that every single thought that came into my head, it was true. The more bad thoughts I had about myself, the better I thought my life was going to be. The more I punished myself, the better I thought my life was going to be. The more I starved myself, the better I thought my life was going to be. The thinner I became, I thought my life is going to be the best when I'm at this weight or I look like this. I got down to a very small frame, very fragile, sick. It was so far from who I was. And not just because of the frame, that's just the outside. It's about the inside, who you are as a person. The outside doesn't dictate that. It's what's on the inside that does. And the person that I was in that frame, it was a shell of who I am now. And I was the most unhappiest I've ever been when I was in that frame. Life for me has changed so much by me rewiring this. And you can too. A disclaimer, obviously I'm not a qualified psychologist, but I have had life experience that I think works very well with a psychologist or, a doctor or therapist. I've learned a lot from my psychologist too. Even my doctor, she's absolutely incredible. I'm going to be opening up a lot about what's going on in my life day to day internally, like in here, because I do have a lot going on at the moment, and the exterior, I don't want to be fake to you guys, but at the moment I'm feeling so motivated, and motivation doesn't last. Remember, it's the discipline. So we train our brain to have habits. I'm tired out, but I'm that excited for what I'm about to do today because I have the opportunity to help other people's life to change for the better. Not just the exterior. It's about getting them moving, giving them things to think about as they work out, as they go in their daily lives. I don't just stop when I'm at the gym or in an outside boot camp environment. I lead on from that. Once they leave, I'm like, what are you going to do next? How are you going to take what we've worked on mentally today into your life? For example, when they are working out and they feel like they literally have nothing left. Our biggest thing last week was like, one more, you've got one more. The one more part is for them to go in their life when that task gets that little bit hard and they don't even do, this is making no sense. Let me just have a think for a minute. That one more in their life is for when you want something really badly and you know that it is serving your values, you are living up to who you are every single day in every process to get to what you want, that one more is to have in your brain that idea that, yes, I can do one more. I can do one more to get to where I want to get to today, or get to where I want to get to in a year's time, rather than give up, probably before they've even done the most they can. One more is more about that inner self-belief that, yep, I can do it, and only I can do it. It's teaching them too that people can't hold your hand to do it for you your whole life. They just can't. If there's something you want to change, you have to be the driver of that change. You've got people like me in your life to be your guide, to be your coach, to be your support person, to be your cheerleader, to be that person, to bring you that bit of sparkle, to make you believe that you can. But then my belief isn't yours, so you still got to have that belief in yourself. But that's where I come in to teach you how to have that. I can't make you have a belief, and I guess I can't teach you to have a belief in yourself, but I can teach you ways where you're not talking negatively to yourself, or it's not even just where you're the teaching of it, it's actually starting to become aware. A lot of you, after listening to this, make a tally in your phone, on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard, wherever you are for the day, and just make a tally of how many times you say something negative to yourself. I think you'll find it's far more than you ever think about anything else. I'm far from perfect. My journey is far from over. The journey doesn't stop. There is no destination for me. It's just, I don't want an end goal for everything. Yes, you have goals to keep you driving, but I don't want an end goal where I reach it. And then for that 48 hours, like studies prove that for 48 hours, once you reach that big goal that you're so excited to reach, you're happy for that 48 hours and it's like, oh, cool. What do we do next? But then what about all those habits that you've had to build to get there? That's the goal, to be able to apply the outcome, or want to be able to apply those habits to other areas of your life, because that way you're learning skills for life. This is stuff I teach my kids at school. Yes, you can have a goal, but you don't need to always just focus on, I'm not there yet. What about focus on what you did today? What about focus on becoming aware of what your thoughts are? Becoming aware of how you're speaking to yourself. Becoming aware of how you're showing up for yourself. That's really important. I ramble a lot. If you've got questions, please shoot them through. But again, ultimately out of this discussion, what I want to try and get out of it is there are habits for life that a lot of us aren't aware of, or that we aren't using because we just keep walking that same path. And to walk that same path, it's easy, isn't it? It's so easy to walk straight down that line. But when I was in recovery from my eating disorder, I explained it like this to everyone. For change to be that drastic, because it matters when your life depends on it, it is literally like you getting out of bed in the morning, but you don't get out forwards. You get out of bed backwards. And all day long, there's no eyes there. You're not allowed to turn your head around where you're walking. You literally just walk backwards every day. Or if you're running, you run backwards. Or if you've got to go downstairs, you go down backwards. But you're not allowed to look. You're not allowed to hold on to anything at all. It is literally, it's just you, your brain, your body, those habits that you're learning. So each time, mine was as big as like, what sort of knife and fork I used, what plate I used, how hot or cold my food was, whether I couldn't even touch some food, guys. That's how deep in this dark place I was. And if I'm sitting here today saying I'm about to marry the man of my dreams, I have 2 beautiful older children from him, I have my own beautiful boy, but what I really have are habits that have changed my life. I honestly focus on who I am. I've stopped. Don't compare myself to what people have anymore. I used to do it all the time. My psychologist will sit there and tell you, Abby used to sit there and tell you, but I'm a really good person and no one wants me and that person has this and that. I don't do that anymore because I have built so much strength internally and so many things that actually work. And these are habits for life that should be taught through education. You need to be aware. And that's the hardest point. I'm so aware. Every now and then, Terry will go, Abby, I'm noticing that your eyes have glazed over a bit and you've got this stare. That's your eating disorder. What's going on? Sometimes it's just as little as I might be able to feel it, but be trapped in that little bubble in that moment where I've got that other person to go snap out of it. What do we need to do to get out of it? It's not a matter either of going snap out of it. It's actually going, what do we need to do, what do we need to focus on to get out of that? And we need to repeat that process. It's just repeating the process, guys. It sounds so simple, but it's like if you can change one thing for your day. If you don't drink water as soon as you get up, I want you, if you're watching this right now, go grab a glass of water. That is a habit to change that is going to do more good for your body than you know. You need to be hydrated. I've already had mine this morning, but I'm feeling very dehydrated. I had 2 drinks last night, so I'm a little bit parched. I'm not punishing myself for having those drinks. Again, I ramble a lot, but I've got so much in this head of mine that if I can recover from the deepest, darkest point in my life, I never thought that I would get to where I am today. It wasn't even in a vision. I couldn't even envision me making it this far. I'm going to sit down. I'll do a sit down about art therapy, how it really helped, how I actually thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. And I was, oh my God, my eating disorder hated it. And people are probably sitting here going, what do you mean your eating disorder hated it? Aren't you your eating disorder? I know, I used to think I was too. But no, there's 2 entities within yourself when you have an eating disorder. And I can't stress the difference, but it's so hard because you actually, your eating disorder just takes over and you become that. Let's just focus on one habit, that 1%er. One thing that you are going to do differently today and just see how much better you feel. But again, you're not going to feel better just from a day of it. And if you do, well done. But don't expect that if you don't do the same thing tomorrow, that anything's going to change or be different. It needs to be that something that you can implement into your life, not what others do. If water doesn't work for you and you already do that, that's awesome. And if it doesn't make you feel any better, you probably don't know any different. Find something for you. Long story short, you can train your brain to do, think, and be different. And we all need a bit of that. We all need, I feel like, a lot of us need Abby to jump in your life, to be on your screens, to be on your whatever form that you need some help with, to make a change in your life that is going to serve you as a lifelong thing. Massive thing here. I am not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing with you what has worked for me. I think if someone like myself, and there's a lot of other people in this world that are either in recovery or have recovered, and that's how I got better too, by listening to other people. No one is me though. I've had different experiences to that person. I share things differently to what that person did. Some people that I watched, they weren't like, come on, it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't like motivational. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm trying to share my journey in my life through just to help someone else. It doesn't mean you have to have an eating disorder to watch this, because everything I do now is to be the best version that Abby can be in here, so that I'm well and that I live an incredibly nourishing life that serves me and that people around me, and that I'm living true to in here, not to something out here that like just brings me no joy, all to look like a certain way. It's crazy when you think about it, but the brain is the most powerful. When I just think at where I was to where I am now, okay, I've gone from day 1 of recovery to going, well, I'll go and do this, but I don't actually have an eating disorder, guys. I had been diagnosed with anorexia. And when I got that diagnosis, I'm like, yeah, I have an eating issue, guys. It's fine. So I went along with it because they're like, well, if you don't go in, we're going to we're going to have to put you in. Psychologist tells me now I've been her worst patient, and now I am her most thriving patient. It's come from the depths, the darkness, and that's pretty incredible. I'm not going to lie to you though at all. I'm be honest right now. There's no way I'm fully recovered. I would say that I'm recovered, but not fully. I don't know if people are probably going to come at me with that and go, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I do live a very, beautiful life, and I'm very aware of when things aren't okay. But sometimes I don't do enough to change those things, because in here, there's still so much that goes on. Big thing I'm getting here is do something for you today that is going to help you get to be the person that you want to be in here. What sort of life do you want to live? Who do you want to be? Don't ask what do you want to look like. You can ask where you want to be, that's fine. But what sort of person do you have to be to get there? So if you're like a lazy person, this is just an example, guys, but you want to run a marathon. You're too lazy to go and get water, but you're like, you know what? I want to run a marathon because I want to see if I can do it. Okay, great. But in order to get there, you're going to have drive, determination. You're going to have consistency. You're going to have habits put in place that are going to get you there. If that's not who you are in here, I mean, you can change that. 100% you can. But you need to stop and think about, okay, what are my values? Who am I? What do I value? If you value family, friends, honesty, loyalty, respect, positive, like if you value those things, but you are sitting there being completely opposite to that, you are not living true to your values. Let's start living true to who we are. And if we don't like who we are, then let's pick up some new habits that can get to where we want to be that person. But you ultimately just sit with yourself and go, well, what do I truly value? Most of you will value really positive things. Even just do a Google search of a whole list, a big list, sorry, I'm going to drop my shoes, a whole list of values, and then go through them. But, maybe pick 10. Then get it down to your like top 5, guys. Even top 3 is better. Like I struggle to get to top 3 because I have a lot of values as a person, but you want the top ones because the top ones are leaders. They're going to get you to where you want to get to. Not even that, I talk about get to where you want to get to. We all have goals, guys, let's be real. So they are going to help you get there. But it's those values that are going to help you go past that to the next thing. You don't just stop there and then revert back. This is why your values shape your habits. Then your habits ultimately get you to the goal that you want to get to. It just makes so much sense. It's so mind-blowing for me that I thought about this the other day, and I did mention it in my first video. And then after I mentioned it, I remember I read stuff in that Atomic Habits book, but I was already thinking this way, but he gave me a better way to actually verbalize what I was trying to say. I hope I've made some sense. I've rambled for a very long time. I'm going to get my water, snack, head to the gym. The lighting is terrible. My makeup is way too glossy, but that's okay. Forgot to put the powder on this morning. I didn't want to wake up Terry. We can roll with it. Not everything has to be perfect, Abby. Rocked up to this coffee place because where is I have a free coffee voucher. Now I can't even find it. I often buy myself a coffee. I've probably been buying too many lately. So usually it's like once a week. If that, I love making my own. I make the best iced coffees ever. Well, I just have black. So with a bit of dash of almond milk. So it's not that hard. Rocked up too early, guys. They're not even open till 7 a.m. I've got to wait 20 minutes, but it's okay because I can edit in the car. Woo! I think it was cold enough in Queensland to light this and have a nice red wine around it, hey? Okay guys, sometimes it's the smallest things that literally make your life. I just walked into the gym and I thought, I'll go into the PT office. I literally used to work here maybe 4 years ago. I literally used to work here. I was doing placement here for my certs. And I literally just found my pink boards. I have looked for these everywhere. Oh my God, because I literally can't find them anywhere. I have 12 pink boards or 10 pink boards and they're my circuit training. I put them at every station because people always forget what they're doing. Oh my God. Day is made. Alright guys, back for boot camp baby. Anytime Fitness Cornuvia, come check out my setup today. This is real Abby style. Pink boards are back.
What you got? Stickers? Say sticker. Is it stuck?
S for stuck.
Wow.
I'll put him in the bin.
Sticker.
Good evening and happy Sunday. My Sunday has been made with an early birthday present from the kids. And yes, I'm wearing it. Check it out. Right. How adorable are my children? Oh my God, they actually made me this t-shirt. Yes! Best present ever. I'm so big on things like this. Oh my gosh, my literal day has made. Thank you, beautiful children. So thoughtful. I just want another 6 now because I literally wear a different set of pajamas every time I go to bed. Because I like fresh, clean pajamas. Sometimes I sweat, guys. Sometimes I get food or chocolate or something over it. So red wine's another one. So, you know, but oh my God. Absolute goals right here. Editing Abby here. Just want to jump on and say, yes, I know it was a very choppy vlog. I talk a lot. There's a lot of chopping and changing. Sorry if you can't keep up. Hopefully you took a few goodies from it. If you actually lasted to the end, well done you. Sending love to you all. Like and subscribe. I'm having the best time sharing my life with you. And it's just a great way for me to document my life. Love you guys. Mwah.